Well, g'day. I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure if you can. I should have put these head thingies in me head first. Shall we go sideways? I'd like to thank you for joining me on this auspicious occasion. You might be asking why it's auspicious, and I'm only using these headphones. I don't normally wear them at all. But I did have some feedback, negative feedback about the audio quality of my videos. And to be honest, I've once or twice used this karaoke app called Smule, Smule, simply because my beautiful fiance was on it, and it was a good way of getting in touch with her again too. And I found that the audio wouldn't even work at first until I used headphones. So hopefully this is going to solve that issue, because this phone I use is in a life case. Because the last one got smashed, and I hope when I laugh I don't deafen you. Anyway, the reason this is auspicious is because this is actually the first tasting of the brew I bottled on the 8th of the 8th in the year 2016. So let's see if it's got some fizz. Yes, just a nice little amount. It's not going to be super fizzy like the last one. Probably could have gone a little bit more, but I should even get a glass and pour it in so you can see how. Now that isn't bad. This one is possibly, it's a full strength beer, put it that way. Let's have a taste and we'll see what happens. Definitely wouldn't have heard it carbonated a bit more. I was erring on the side of caution, but it's a nice taste. It's got a good amount of malty goodness. There's no dominant flavour in it, none of the herbs and spices or ginger or, yeah, I put turmeric in this one. None of them are dominating, which is good, so it's a really nicely balanced. I think I've excelled myself. 8th of the 8th, 16, 2 8s, a 16, 4 8s, a 32, and I've got 5 fingers on this hand. Don't ask me where that came from. I was just ad-libbing as I do. 5 8s, 4 10, 4 times 10. If you study numerology at all, as I say, I've investigated a bit. There's only one number. 1. That's it. The rest are all numerals. And there's the void. That's 0. And so if you want to say, well, 2, well, it's just 2 ones, Roman numerals. 3, 4, 5, V5. Yeah. 6 is, and 10 is the cross, X, which is in Arabic numerals, 1 and void 1 and 0. So you sort of go full circle. Damn it, I should have carbonated that more. I'm a little bit disappointed about that. Erring on the side of caution. You've got to take that risk sometimes. Risk that your bottles might explode. Risk that they might go and fluff out all over the place when you open them up. Risk that when you take a mouthful, you just get a mouthful of bubbles. And then, so learning curve, I'm going to see if I can put down another brew tomorrow. I'm going to juice turmeric into this one. Never done that before. In fact, I'm even going to juice the recipe of the vegetables, the celery, carrot, apple, beetroot, parsley juice, and actually put that into the brew and ferment it. Because what is wine? It's just fermented grape juice. What is beer? It's just fermented wheat juice and hops. And so that's why I always, every time I make a new brew, I experiment with it. And I'm more than happy to share all my secrets with anybody that cares to listen. What I always do, I get a nice big piece of ginger and I just chop it up. And then I steep it in a teapot or I've got that flask coffee plunger thing. So I make a nice big thing of ginger tea, pour the boiling water over it, let it steep, and I always put that in. And you can do that with any herb, spice, flavour you wish. Ginger is an awesome one. Ginger beer, well, this is real beer, but it's always got a couple of litres of ginger tea in it, and I usually make about a 55 litre batch at a time, so it's a double batch, and I always put raw honey in it. It's the best sugar. Yeah, I use a kilo of raw organic sugar just so it's got something to ferment to alcohol, but then I just go use a kilo of raw honey. So you only use 1 kilo per 24 litre can, I think you do. So I just do a double batch, put double the sugar in, which should give me roughly 5%, maybe 4.5% alcohol beer, if it works. And the honey is just awesome, because ordinarily it has a really good head on it. Like when you pour it into a glass, you'll get this creamy, foamy sort of head, rather than that sort of pissy, puffy, bubbly one you just get from sugar. Honey is a very, very complex sugar. It has over 30 types of sugar at least. Like, we don't even know the names of all of them, because you fucking science boffins have to have a name for everything. I just call it awesome goodness of the bounteous universe that Mother Earth gives us, a beautiful, beautiful sweet nectar of the gods. Thanks to the bees. You can't do better than the bees. They've got it nailed. They got it nailed. I might have mentioned once before about the amino acids that we get from their royal jelly. Well, the queen bee, she grows almost double the size of your average bee, lives about 30 times longer, pumps out her own body weight in eggs every day, and all she lives on is royal jelly, hence why she's the queen. Now, bees just so happen to not just make awesome honey and fertilise all the plants of this planet, plain tea, this thing we live on, this realm, but the royal jelly actually has all the essential amino acids that our bodies require from an external source in exactly the right combination that we need for the ultimate health. So yeah, we could probably learn to live forever if we wanted to. Now you might make the choice to want to leave once you've been here long enough and said, I've been here long enough. I have no disease, I have no pain, I'm not aging, but, you know, maybe it's just time I went back to my ancestral world in the non-physical realm. And that's a choice you're free to make. There should be no right and wrong if you choose to leave, but you shouldn't have to be forced into it because of circumstance such as disease or pain or anything like that. Lack of abundance. We have abundance. That's what the bees are here to teach us. And we're poisoning them. G'day. So there was a purpose to this rant, and I've forgotten what it is. So I might just leave it at that. Nah. Actually, I did have something. I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed in myself through my lack of ability to earn a decent income. I think I'm going to have to let my beautiful fiancée go. She let me know last night. We had a bit of a fight about it, really. But her older sister that's married to a Japanese guy, they've sort of offered to sponsor her over to Japan so she can go and work over there for 3 months, which is good because you can't get a job in the Philippines. She's just going nowhere, living in poverty. Her parents are getting older, they can't afford all their medications, and but if she goes to Japan, well, that's it, you know, like I just wish I could get her over here. So yeah, I did make the decision today. I'm just gonna have to let her go. It's the right thing to do. And also I got a phone call from my dad last night that my nana, who just turned 102, the day after her 102nd birthday, she had a nasty fall and broke her arm really seriously, so she's going to have to go into care. Yeah, my dad's already old and retired himself, so it's going to be a bit hard on all the family. But yeah, I'm not looking for charity. I don't need your assistance. But if you do have any generosity to share, then by all means it will be gratefully accepted. But I know you're all in the same boat as me and everybody else. We're all just surviving day to day, week to week. So I'm not asking for any special anything from anybody. I have put up links before. There have been times I'd actually had to beg because I thought, yeah, I couldn't even afford to keep my bloody car on the road or pay my phone bill. Or, you know, I work hard. I've just worked 8 days straight today. I'm finally getting a day off tomorrow before I go back again and start all over again. But I'm not complaining, I'm not whinging. Even though I still get bloody phone calls from the bank wanting me to pay all this fucking interest on all these debts and shit. I don't know. So all these rich pricks hoarding all the money. It's not like the banks need me, but it's like they think they've got me over a barrel or something. I might ring them back tomorrow and tell them to get fucked. Anyway, I didn't mean to swear like that. I meant to swear like this. Get fucked. Fucking banks. Go fuck yourselves. These are banks. You're meant to be the support of the current. And we're not just this floating, dead, empty mariners on the ocean. Yeah, you probably have to check out my Facebook page to know what the fuck I'm talking about there. I share some good stuff on my Facebook page, so feel free to check it out. I try to make it all public, and yeah, if you feel like it, send me a friend request. I'm pretty cruisy like that, and very few people block me. That's one thing I was going to talk about, is a guy that did block me. Now this is interesting. He's a chemtrail activist, Mr. Max Bliss, very famous Mr. Max Bliss. Now I was a big fan of him, big supporter. Obviously I don't know when he came onto the scene, but fuck me, I was talking about chemtrails 15, 16 years ago, 17 years ago. That's how old my youngest daughter's about to become when I first learnt about them. And I was getting letters published in the local paper, and met some interesting people. Now, I'm not an activist, you know, I don't see the point. You know, you can be a crazy loon if you want to, or you can just spread as much awareness as you can where you can. And that's pretty much all I was doing all these years. So when I see the guy like Max Bliss come along, I was a big supporter of him. Yeah, good on you, mate. Get out there, spread the word, the world know about chemtrails, how they're spraying our air, our land, our water, our trees, our bees, our birds, our cells, our food, everything is getting sprayed with these nasty chemicals like what's in Roundup. But he come along when the flat earth movement was taking off, and he had a bit of a rant, and I was only just getting into it myself. And he said, anybody believes in the flat earth, you know, you're just disinformation agents and all this. So I just came back and asked a few basic questions like, you know, how do you explain how water curves around the ball and all this sort of stuff? You know, sensible, logical questions. And so the prick went and fucking blocked me. Now, I would never do that to somebody just because you disagree with me. I like people that disagree with me. I appreciate it. You know, make me smarter. Tell me where I'm wrong. I need that sort of feedback. I don't go and block people just because they think I'm wrong. I block people because they go and unfriend me because I turn around and tell them the truth about them. Like this one bloke, Ciro the hero. He was another chemtrail activist, so they all think they're some fucking heroes, don't they? And when they brought out this thing in the US about gay marriage, like, who gives a fuck? I mean, great. The more love in the world, the better. You know, leaves more women for us ugly blokes, you know, as far as I'm concerned. I think gay marriage is the best thing. You know, be free to love who you will. Far better than going murdering or raping or whatever you monsters do. Love one another. It's awesome. And so this Ciro comes across with his opinion and says this is going to be the downfall of mankind, you know, we've reached end times because Satan rules because men lay with one another and women rub off against one another and all this. Man, I love the fact that people love one another however they want to do it. It's got nothing to do with me. It's not my business. And so I turned around and just defended them. So obviously, I'm a puff because I defend people expressing their free will to love who they will in a mutually beneficial, loving, awesome way. And so yeah, and people like that go and then unfriend me. Well, fucking block. You deserve a block. You're a fucking mental case. You're acting from some emotional indoctrination that you've been filled with. That, just do it to somebody who's mutually capable of agreeing. Consent. Don't do it to a dog or a goat or a pig or anybody incapable of consenting, same age or older or slightly younger or above the age of consent, a physically mature person, and just go for it, It's not a problem. It's awesome. Love one another. And then maybe do it again, It's fun. Anyway, guys, I have ranted too long now, so I better go check me pizza. I'm making pizza tonight. So I'll catch you all soon, and all power to humankind.